Hey Taters, this is Tree from treeoflogic.com. Welcome to my channel, Just Tree 411, and I want to make a quick video in reference to a must read or must listen to, and it is the autobiography of Iceberg Slim. He's a pimp, and he talks about his life from his childhood up until the time of his once he got out of the pimp business. The reason why, and you're probably saying, well, most of you already know I've been recommending you all either read the book or listen to the audio book, which is on YouTube right now for free. It's 11 hours. And it may take you some time to listen through all of it, but if you just do 30 minutes a day or an hour a day or an hour every other day, I promise you it is well worth listening to. You will thank me later. Let me tell you the reason why I know about Iceberg Slim. Well, of course, you all know that where I grew up, we had a few, I think it was 3 at the most, pimps. Now, don't get me wrong, they were not on the same area. We just had one pimp living, actually 2 of them actually. We had 2 living in my neighborhood, but their women were stationed in other areas. And then we just had the other one who had 2 women that were stationed in our area. So I learned about a lot of things that a little girl is not supposed to learn at such a young age. You know, everything from drugs to pimps to, you know, drug dealers. I mean, it just, you know, I don't know. Anyway, so I remember picking up this book in college because we had to do a book in reference to, I had to do either not a thesis. I had to write an essay. For my class. And I picked the book up because a friend of mine that was in the library had this book, and he was like reading it, you know, like I need to see how I'm gonna pick up some of this house. And so he put it down, I picked it up, and I end up getting hooked immediately. That I checked the book out and I read it and I end up buying the book from a bookstore. Was it Barnes and Noble? It doesn't matter. The bookstore. They had to order the book because this is an old book. I think this book came out in 1965 or 1966, something like that. So this is old because this was a time and era. I think this happened in the 1940s when he was doing this. Now, the reason why I suggest you all get this book is because you won't say stupid things like what Andrew Tate did is not even remotely to sex trafficking or human trafficking. You would understand what a pimp is. You would understand how a pimp love bombs a woman, how he basically pretends to be the boyfriend and get her to love him and everything like that, so that he can exploit her in the future. It just blew my mind that I was listening to people and they were like, oh, just because they fell in love. They fell in love with Andrew Tate. That's not trafficking. Oh my God, it's in the definition of human trafficking. But, you know, some of the red pillars pretend that Andrew Tate came They pretend that Andrew Tate came up with this practice, this method all on his own, when this has been done for centuries. I think the first pimp or any man who needed to exploit a woman in the sex industry realized that, hey, I can't do what she can do, but if I control her, I can make money off of her. You know, if she loves me, if I tell her all the lies, if I deceive her, if I manipulate her, and then all of a sudden when the love, I guess you say, when the pink glasses come off, then that's when the beating starts. That's when the violence happens. That's when the intimidation and the belittling. It's all in his book. It's all in his book. I guess you guys, not you guys, but I guess the people who are defending Andrew Tate. And by the way, he meets the definition of a pimp. Okay, understand that webcam is in the sex industry and it's sexual activity. Okay, it does not mean you're actually having the intercourse, but you don't have to have actual intercourse in order to be a pimp. He's exploiting these women, he's manipulating these women, but most of all, he's committed fraud by love bombing them and getting them to fall in love with him with the sole intentions to have them work in the sex industry as the webcam dolls. And I hope it's nothing more, but from the way it looks like there is some other. It even gets worse than the webcam, okay, for some of the women. And basically he's taking the percentage of the money. Okay, that's what a pimp does, and that's what he has done. Okay, and so when I see these young red pillars talking about how Andrew Tate came up with this game, he was the one who thought of making women fall in love with him and then basically getting them or either on the pole or getting them in front of a webcam so he can make money off them. I'm like, these guys have never met a pimp in their lives. And I think because they live a privileged life, they just have no clue how this works. So I don't want people in my audience, I don't want anyone, any of my viewers to not know how this works. When I tell you that this book is good from beginning to end, there's no boring parts. There's no parts you're going to want to skip over. If you're reading the book, if you're listening to it, you're going to be hooked. I promise you. It was nonstop action and, well, not action, but it was excitement. It was the highs and the lows. You can actually feel how he was beginning to turn into this, and it all boils down to the mother. I've said this all the time. Iceberg Slim loved his mother, but he resented her and he did not like her. You can love someone and not like who they are, and that's what that is. His mom was bad. He had a very bad mother, inconsiderate, and took I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was about to spoil it for you. I don't want to spoil it. I'm sorry. I will just say this. The reason why Iceberg Slim is the way he is because it's his mother. The reason why Andrew and Tristan Tate are the way they are is because of the decisions of their mother. And the reason why you have a lot of men in the red pill community who are angry, it is because of their mothers. Give me any one of them and I can show you how they will subconsciously or consciously blame their mother for whatever situation they will put themselves in, or the situation that they put their own father in, or lack thereof. It always goes down to the mother. And if it ain't the mother, like say for instance, because there is one particular guy I know who's very active in the red pill community, who mom passed away. So what? You can also be angry that she abandoned you via, I know that sounds like, well, she couldn't control her passing away. A lot of times children can't rationalize of that. They just know that mom's not here. Okay. And I don't even know the particulars of why she's no longer here anymore, but also the fact that, he had attachment issues, and because of the hole in his heart where he had to fill with a woman, he kept attracting bad women who would use him, women who would take advantage of him, women who would lie to him, women who would mistreat him. And after attracting those type of women, he became resentful of these women, and he became angry with these women, and therefore this is where you start to get the red pill rage, I guess you can say, and then there's a vendetta out against women in general, and not realizing that what was it about you that attracted these women? What was it about you that ignored the red flags? And that's how that is. It takes two to play. It takes two to tango. But my thing is that I don't ever want you all to be at a disadvantage like a lot of the simps for Tate are being, and just caping for him just because. I need you to understand how pimping works, how sex trafficking works, I want you to get into the psychological aspect of how all of this works. And you can't learn it any better but from a pimp. And so I highly suggest that you look at the book, or read the book, or listen to the audio book, which is on YouTube. All you got to do is type the autobiography of Iceberg Slim or Pimp Iceberg Slim, and it will come up. And just bookmark it or save it to your listen list on YouTube and just listen to it until the very end. I promise you, once you finish that book, you will recognize all kinds of game. You would know how it's played, and you will see the moves that Andrew has made is something that he has gotten from either other pimps or he just got from this book. I'm not sure, but he did not learn this on his own because he's a genius. Anyway, if you do read this book and you come across this video, let me know what you think. And those of you who have, let me know what you think. And let me know what you think about this particular PIMP, okay? So this is Tree from treeoflogic.com. If you like this video, give a thumbs up. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Later, taters.